So I'm sure that everybody in this room knows somebody who's going to fit the description I'm going to give, and it's none of us, but we know people like this. You know, you have a garage and you have a car, but after a while you start to store things in your garage, and pretty soon more and more stuff builds up in the garage, and after a while you can't get your car in the garage anymore. I know people like this who can't get their car in the garage because of all the junk that's built up in the garage. And you know, there are a lot of diseases, age-related diseases, that are like the garage. We start accumulating what we call junk molecules in important cells in our body, and they gradually accumulate over time, and they start when we're young and they gradually accumulate, but as we get older and older, this buildup starts to cause problems. It's like we can't put the car in the garage anymore. So our strategy is to find microorganisms that can biodegrade these molecules, and then particularly focus down in on enzymes that could do this, and ultimately, we would be able to deliver these to the affected human cells, and then we hope we would very selectively clean out the junk, restoring the function to the human cells. We anticipate you might do this once in your life. Maybe you're 50 years old and things have built up, and you go and you clean it out, and you kind of start over, like as if you're a young child again with respect to these cells. But the interesting thing we were kind of joking once about this, and we said, well, you know, if we really want to find some good organisms to degrade this stuff, where should we find them? Well, you could tell me, where should we look? Well, you're trying to degrade things in human bodies. Yeah, but you can't just, I get a knife and start cutting pieces out of her. Where can I find some human bodies where things might be degrading? Corpses. All right, so where do we find corpses? Cemeteries. Okay, so among the places we sampled were soils of cemeteries. We did not dig up bodies. Don't do that. But we did go to cemeteries, and among the many, many sources of organisms, we found some soils from cemeteries. And it turned out, ironically, and maybe coincidentally, but it's a good story, they were the best ones.
In your healthcare, just as any area of your consumer life, look for value. Don't pay more than you have to. If you need to control your blood pressure, get the cheapest medication that actually works. And in health, as in some other things, newer is not always better. If the newer product has features that are actually valuable to you, by all means go for it. But if the new features that the new product has at a bigger price tag are not things that you would value, well, go for something that's been around a while. Another thing is focus on prevention. So with your car, when it's new, you don't have to do much. But if you do the oil changes, or let me start with the first things, if you even just fill up the fluids, and so that it doesn't run dry, it'll run better than if you don't do anything at all. Same thing with your health. If you do the simple things, get your immunizations, get your checkup every now and then, and just kind of monitor your health. Do the simple things. And then beyond that, go a step further and think long term. If you not only add to fluids of your car, but you actually change them when it's required, you can keep an old car running like a top for quite a long period of time. It's the same thing with your body. Avoid unnecessary health care. You need to get what you need, but not the unnecessary things. All medical interventions have some risk. Some diagnostic procedures, like not even diagnostic, but I had my wisdom teeth removed, and I had to sign this paper and I needed them because they were impacted, that I might die. There was a small risk of death, so that was actually kind of scary, but I thought, I really don't think I'm going to die. I'm really pretty healthy, and I'm really pretty confident I'm not going to die, but that was the risk that I was taking.
I have a quick question. Regarding the bioremediation process, can you describe how the human body would eliminate those molecules that are being destroyed?
Well, I guess there would be three questions. The first one is, how do you plan on getting the microorganisms into the body? And the second one would be, how long do they stick around? And then the third one would be, have you looked at any like synthetic enzymes or stuff like that, something you can manufacture for this specific purpose?
Yeah. If you exercise, cardiovascular, etc., 20 minutes a day and bring your heart rate up, or to stay basically active all day long, is there a prescribed thing that says 20 minutes of getting your heart rate really high? Is that the essential issue? Or if you just stay moderately active all the time, is there a trade-off in there?
Could you describe in details what kind of nutrients or vitamins that we can only intake from meat rather than vegetable, and how we can compensate it?
Obesity leads to so many bad things, and we seem to be doing little or nothing about it other than just talking about it in a very light way.